words he speaks are true. We're our humanary stew. We don't pledge allegiance to the Black Widow. The horror that he'll bring, the horror of his sting, the unholiest of kings, the Black Widow.
Hello and welcome to the newest episode of Spider's Parlor. I am the Spider. With me as always is our good friend Steven. Say hello to the good people, Steven. But tonight I also have a special guest with me. Hailing from Cybertron and most recently seen and making his film debut, live action film debut that is, in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Say hello to Soundwave. Soundwave superior, Constructicons inferior. That crazy Soundwave. Anyway, I recently saw opening night in the IMAX Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. It's been getting a lot of negative press. Some of the stuff is a bit cheesy and a bit corny. The twins, I did not like Skids or Mudflap at all. They were very annoying, and we could have did without them. I mean, a lot of people have been comparing them to Jar Jar Binks. I don't know if it's that harsh, but I would put them in comparison to, say, Daniel from the Transformers animated movie as annoying. But all in all, I was very impressed with Revenge of the Fallen. Optimus Prime, it's still so cool to have Peter Cullen doing his voice. And in this movie, he just, wow. I won't say too much, but needless to say, a certain artifact from the animated movie is introduced in this movie, and for anyone who knows what I'm talking about, I'm sure that was a geek out moment. There were a few in this movie that had me going, I don't think this is too much of a spoiler by now. We all know Megatron is back. And I will say this one line, I thought it was just brilliant. And I'm maybe not quoting it exactly right. I've only seen the movie once. I'm planning on seeing it again as soon as possible. Starscream, temporarily took over as the leader of the Decepticons, and Megatron, after he's found out that Starscream was ruling in his place, Megatron grabs him by the throat and goes, "Even in death, my rule is the only one, that you must listen to," and all that type of stuff. It was really cool. But for me, the moment I have been waiting for, two characters made their introduction in this movie. One, as we've seen in trailers, is Devastator. Devastator is made up of 6 Constructicons, 6 construction vehicles that merge into one giant. That scene is awe-inspiring in this movie. It's very cool. But the character for me was Soundwave. And everyone who knows about Soundwave in the old cartoon was a cassette player. And of course, Michael Bay, and it makes logical sense. Obviously, cassette players are no longer valid. So, it's a matter of, what does he get into? What does he become now in the year 2009? That in terms of the context of the movie and the universe at large, what does he become? Well, I won't tell you what he's become, but I will give you this much. He is the communications expert that he always has been. He is also voiced by Frank Welker, who voiced him in the original cartoon, which is very cool that he came back to reprise the voice. And it is very close. I will say that they did not have the robotic monotone. That part was taken out of the voice. So what you are getting, essentially, is Frank Welker doing Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget's, the old cartoon's voice. Because he voiced him too. So it does sound like Soundwave. It's just as if they stripped away the monotone voice. But yeah, I have to say, we were introduced to Jetfire in this one, and he was always a cool Transformer back in the day. Wheelie is introduced, and who knew they could actually make Wheelie cool in this movie? He's not the annoying little, I won't say the words I'm thinking, but Wheelie is actually cool. But Bumblebee continues to surprise me, and one of my friends is just, he cracks up every time. How many times Sam says Bumblebee in the movie? Bumblebee! Bumblebee! And then, it's not too many times that it almost rivals how many times he also goes, Optimus! Shia LaBeouf did great in this movie, coming back as, I'm sorry, I gotta call him Spike. They don't call him Spike in the movie, he's Sam, but he's Spike, and he always will be to everyone else. And Megan Fox is, dear God, it's Megan Fox. I mean, she doesn't have to say a whole lot in this movie if she wanted to be effective, but, her Sam's parents are played once again by Kevin Dunn and Julie White, and she's even funnier in this movie. I cracked up at her. John Turturro's back as the ex-CIA, whatever, guy, and then Tyrese Gibson and that other guy, I can't even think of his name right off the top of my head, are back as the soldiers. But it's pretty cool all in all. It does leave it open for a sequel, and personally, the rumors are already running rampant as to what Part 3 will have. I've heard through the grapevine that the Dino-Bots or Galvatron or even Unicron all could be introduced, or all three of them. I mean, it's Michael Bay has said something about 2012 as the timeline that they're looking to get the next one out. Well, 2012, for anyone who knows their mythology, according to the Mayans, is supposedly the end of the world in December of 2012. Well, what better movie to have a world destroyer than Transformers 3 and have Unicron? The late Orson Welles voiced him. We could get someone of equally great status, but I have to say that anyone who has not seen Transformers yet, definitely go see it. It was a lot of fun. I want to go see it again. And it's that movie, the thing is, both live action movies, as fun as they've been, the animated movie from 1986 still blows them both away. There is just, the soundtrack, I have so much fun with that. You've got the Touch and Dare, Hunger, and the theme by Lion, and Instruments of Destruction. I love all those songs. The death of Optimus in that movie, the rebirth of Megatron into Galvatron, the death of Starscream, Devastator actually being an effective villain, Unicron. I mean, it goes on and on and on. That movie is just phenomenal. But I would think that would be a good movie to introduce a lot of people to that have only seen the live action movies and not seen any of the old school 80s cartoons. I would definitely show them the animated movie, just because it would just introduce them into a great, they'll be shocked, I think. But yes, Soundwave and Steven are both getting ready to take off for Cybertron. Steven wants to go on vacation with him. Don't know why. He might meet up with Tarantulas or Black Arachnia, other characters that are spider related. Steven, you better come back. Don't get reformatted in some robot. Anyway, and Laserbeak, get away from there. Laserbeak's eating the last little bit of Energon on the ground. Soundwave, didn't I tell you to clean up the mess? Jeez. Okay, well, that's all for now. Next time, we'll probably be doing a retro review, another gem from my collection. So until next time, till all are one, and light our darkest hour.
For a time, I considered sparing your wretched little planet Cybertron, but now you shall witness its dismemberment.